like a Friday night.
One of the night show. Lady Soul, we live in life. Quan.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're tuning into the episode of the Wonder Kid Morning Show live. What's good, everybody? Hopefully everybody can hear, see what's going on. It's kind of black on the YouTube part, but hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. Can you guys hear and see me? Let me know. Let me go check out the chat. Hopefully you guys can hear and see me. King Blaze, yo, first in the building, was good. Kush, was good. Wiz Khalifa, year. See you, bro. Producer, Urban Closer, was good, my bro. Chris, always a great morning. How are you doing? So glad to have you with us. Ashley, once again, very nice to have you with us. Tila, very nice to have you with us. Man, everybody's in. Lateral Kane, was good, bro. Was good. He ain't going anywhere. Yo, this guy wildin'. King Lee, my bro, was good. He in here, I see y'all. The way that screen catches my daughter's attention. Listen, I'm never changing that. A lot of people have asked me to, and I'm never changing it. I'm never. Hopefully she wasn't scared though by it though, Tila. Hopefully. Everybody get perfect. Everyone see me. We're in the building. Listen, guys, I put out a short yesterday to show y'all what was going on. Like, I was stuck at the DMV pretty much. Our DMV. It's like the DMV and district office is combined here. And we were stuck there because they were having issues with their computers and stuff like that. Then I came home, and in a storm, to lightning hitting down the street and knocking out the power lines, which I put on a short for you guys to see because you guys be thinking I'm joking. I don't know what it is about the area, but lightning strikes have been crazy from the other day and knocking out stuff. But yeah, y'all seen it. Right now we're on the Starlink, and it's holding up well. So hopefully it keeps going well. And once again, I want to say good morning to everybody. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful night. Love you guys. Let's get this party started. So, guys, I want to make sure that I say this. And I want to make sure that my point is very clear on this, right? I've never been somebody to wish people to lose their jobs. It's never been me. I've hoped that they can move on to something even better. Like Brandon Stevens, shout out to him for getting that big payday from the Jets. And I'm not someone that advocates for guys to just lose their jobs. I always hope that if they're not here, they get on somewhere else. The more and more I look at John Harbaugh, the more and more I watch him, the more and more that we deal with him, the more and more that we observe just how lost he could be, is the more that I'm hoping and praying that the Ravens move on from him. And guys, look, like I said before, he's not a bad coach, but there's something where you have taken a franchise to as far as you can take them. Perfect example is the Philadelphia Eagles. You feel me? Like, people always be like, oh, I don't want to, because I'm giving y'all the understanding where I'm coming from with this. You'll always hear people say, oh, I don't want people to lose their jobs and everything else, and Harbaugh, the Super Bowl winning head coach, and everything else. Philadelphia Eagles made it to Super Bowl, multiple NFC championship games, missed the playoffs only like 2 times under Andy Reid. and he was one of the greatest offensive minds that the game has ever seen. They fired him. Said, look, we're moving on. He moves on to another team. He gets a quarterback that can do what he needs a quarterback to do in his system, and he wins. And the team that he moved on from, they win. They win. And I'm at a point to where I want everybody to understand that there's nothing wrong for moving on. There's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong. Omega, good morning. Ike Ebenon, what's good, what's good, what's good. Everybody wants to see me flip out and be like, fire Harbaugh now! Please fire him! That's how y'all want me to react. I'm not going to react like that. I'm not going to. The reason why is because it's just me losing my voice. It's falling on deaf ears anyways. EDC, Harbaugh are like this. EDC, Harbaugh, and Bisciotti are close, like how you be thinking some of these rap crews are close. Y'all understand what I'm saying with all the stuff coming out with Slime and them, all the snitching and going around. No, these three are actually boys. They live next to each other. They vacation with each other. They talk to each other. Like all that stuff. Like, that's who you would think is close. Like, they're close like that. So just like Labro Kane said at the top, he's not going nowhere. But it's time for him to move on. I truly believe it's at this time that we have grown as far as we can grow with him. And now it's time for everybody to take. And mind you, this is the first time that we've had John Harbaugh as a coach that people are starting to hold him accountable. You've heard so many people starting to call him out. You've heard it on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. You've heard it with, what's his name? Oh, my God. Rex Ryan. And then with coaching and other stuff like that. You've heard it so many places. I'm going to play one of the places that said it too, because Rob Parker was talking about it. Rob Parker called it out perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and video of it real quick. Hopefully this doesn't block the video. And then we're going to go into it even further. All right? Check this out what Rob Parker had to say. Look at this.
Right there. All the people we know, the easy pointing of the finger, and I've heard it all day. Lamar should have just run for the first down. Okay, blame Lamar, even though he played a really good game.
Always.
Derrick Henry, I fumbled, blah, blah, blah. That was the game. I'm done with both of those guys as far as that. I'm going to be lazy and just pick one of those two players and say they're the reason why. If I was ownership of the Baltimore Ravens last night, I would have fired John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh should be fired as coach of the Baltimore Ravens. This happens, Kelvin, way too often with the talent that they have. Rob G just told you, 17 times they've given up double-digit leads in the second. 17!
Yeah.
I get it. He won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you're a pope or a Supreme Court justice and you get to have your job forever because you won a Super Bowl.
Guys, that's Rob Parker and I'm speaking about it. So I played that so you can understand that this is the first time, and at least since I've been watching the Ravens, because I've been watching the Ravens for a long time now, and it's the first time that I've ever seen so many media pundits, media talking heads, placing the blame at the foot of the head coach. So the last time we seen this was 2017, 2018. And then Lamar took over and everything was blame Lamar. They lost because of Lamar. Doesn't matter if he got receivers. Blame Lamar. You don't got no help. He should be good. Blame Lamar. He should get out of that. Blame Lamar. The whole line ain't blocking. Blame Lamar. Defense ain't cooking. Blame Lamar. That seems to have been the running gag. And everybody has made jokes. Skeptical, shout to my guy. Said made so many jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, John Harbaugh has the best coaching position right now in the league because he gets none of the blame when the Baltimore Ravens lose. They just go to one person, that's it, and then he just walks away unscathed. But, and I'm going to do a video on this later. Did y'all notice the Monday press conference? How he looked nerved, how he looked bothered, how he looked frustrated, how he looked like somebody whose seat was starting to sizzle. That's what he looked like to me. He looked like somebody that was finally starting to feel the weight of their decisions. Not the oh, you're okay. Oh, you're a Super Bowl winning coach. Oh, you're great. You could see it in his face. And then he went on to blame Kyle Hamilton, like, oh yeah, that was a bad play. I thought he was from the like just throwing players underneath the bus. A player that just got paid, a player that has been one of the lone bright spots for your defense. Yes, I have words. Yes, I heard what he said about Kyle. Yes. And I sat there and I said, ooh. Was that one song? I'm going to get a little unpredictable. I think it was Jamie Foxx that sang it. That's what happened. Like, he looked totally unhinged. Like, the way he was looking at guys, he was like, and you can always tell when someone's unhinged because the eyes are a blackboard into the mind. And I looked at that and I said, oh yeah, something's happening behind the scenes. Because here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I want to read this off to you real quick, right? Everybody is going to say, and Rob G even said the low-hanging fruit. I want y'all to understand this real quick. I'm going to read this off to you guys so you understand just how foolish some people are. Because mind you, they're so accustomed to blaming Lamar that they forget that there's other people on this team. I want you to understand this. Lamar had a QBR of 94 out of 100. He had a passer rating of 144. He was 14-19, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown, and a play that should have been a 30-yard loss turned out to be a 20-yard gain, which will be one of the best plays and be in contention for one of the best plays this season. I want you to understand that Lamar just wasn't efficient. He was magnificent. And Derrick Henry was just as. 18 carries for 169 yards on the ground, 9.4 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns. Justice Hill had negative 14 yards on 2 carries. Rashid Ali had 1 carry for 5 yards. Zay Flowers had 2 carries for 8 yards. So they had. Justice Hill has negative yards on the season right now. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But I'm showing you just how good they really are. Even Zay Flowers, 7 receptions for 143 yards, 20.4 yards a pop, and a touchdown. That should have been enough. More than enough. But, and mind you, like I said, I got videos coming up later. Because there was a Steeler and a Browns guy, Joe, oh my God, I forgot his name. But they were talking pretty much about the situation. And they were saying how they're both defenders, Joe Hayden. And they were talking about how prevent defense, one of the worst defenses you could play when you're cooking. Just play regular defense. Make him have to earn everything. You have a mobile quarterback, Jared Thomas was good. You have a mobile quarterback that has a cannon. He's a top 2 quarterback in the league. You give him no pass rush and say, there's going to be no pass rush. You have unlimited time in the pocket to continually keep finding a hole in the zone. And you know what he did? He found the hole in the zone every single time. And never once did they ever think about, let's change this up, guys. No, let's not do this no more. You had a chance to say, okay, we'll kick it off. You're like, oh, let's kick it back, knowing your defense is reeling, knowing and then saying, I believe in our defense. That's my way of showing I believe in our defense. Believe in what? Believe in who? We don't even believe in you. Oh! And people are calling for your job. Barry Hayes with a $10 donation. Yes! First donation, best nation donation. Man, I don't trust the D. Pause. Double slap. I agree. Mind you, Horace and them, right? Listen, everyone's saying best nation donation. Barry Hayes, thank you so much for that, man. Listen, let me tell you something what's crazy about that, right? Everything that we've argued about on this channel, everything that we've discussed on this channel, the things that I've been reprimanded by so many people about on these very 2 channels, now everybody is saying, Nitro was right. Because, you see, that's been, my thing is, you'll never be perfect, right? But you're always trying to fix your deficiencies so they're no longer weaknesses. They don't have to be what you're best at, but you fix it so they're no longer weaknesses. Michael Jordan, when he came into the league, people said he couldn't shoot the mid-range, right? So stop him from driving, have him take a long 2 or 3, and then you live with the consequences, right? And you know what Michael Jordan did? Michael Jordan said, you know what? I'm going to work on it until now they're going to have to guard me for just that alone. Put the time in and made it a strength. Became one of the, probably, if not the greatest, but one of the top 3 greatest mid-range shooters the league has ever seen. Off of a weakness. I've said too many times, the offensive line is a weakness. How many times you guys heard me say we need to worry about Falala? Shout out to Big E3, because I mean, absolutely hilarity. How many times do we call that out? How many times do we call out Voorhees? How many times do we even say, even though I have big hopes for Rosengarten, that we don't fully trust him? How many times do we call out the ability and the consistency of the D-line? Why did we want Jadeveon Clowney and Judon? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart. Tell me why. Please, I be saying with a $5 donation. Yes! Did you bet that John doesn't play on using Keaton this season, son? Fire John now. Yes, I seen that. He'd rather use Rasheen Ali than Keaton Mitchell. The guy who we all seen is a playmaking, but here's where the argument comes up. You already have enough playmaking at running back. My argument is Keaton Mitchell's a playmaker no matter where you put him. You can line him up, bubble screens, kick return, punt return, backfield. He is the epitome of a playmaker. maker. Shout out to you, IB Sam, for the $5 donation. Best nation donation, bro. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Even that's going on now. So we're not even playing some of our best players. Listen, that Eye of Horus, that is a fool. Whoever is saying that, that's a Lamar stat. They'll be like, oh, they had the least amount of pressures in the NFL. How did they have less pressure? How did they have less pressure than the Bills D-line on offense? We watched the game. So you're telling me that our offensive line had less pressure than what the offensive line for the Bills? They're lying. We watched this game. I told y'all, even with the Malachi Stark stuff, the first 3 or 4 games, they're going to target him. He might not. He might drop the ball a couple times. People say, nah, he looks like a veteran. That's 1 interception drop. We'll see how much more he dropped for the season. I'm not hating. I'm being honest. The same kicker that everybody said, don't worry about, he'll be fine. He missed the extra point. If he makes that extra point, we tie. It's a tie game. We go into overtime at the minimum. Everything came back to haunt us. And now Jadeveon Clowney is meeting with the Cowboys, yes, which you will see on a post that will be posted on here. Pablo, exactly. And Zico Kage, good morning. Tez Gold Walker Jack, good morning. Jared Thomas, you said Nitro. Doug Gottlieb said that being clutch is defined by what you do in the regular season. And I remember we talked about the Jared Thomas on thing, and that's the definition of Lamar. But once again, now that Josh, mind you, they had nothing to say about Josh Allen when he got blown out last year, right? They said it was just the regular season. But now he comes back on Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar's not clutch. That's how they do things, bro. That's how they do things. That's why I don't listen to these guys. Because they're not waiting. They sit back and complain that it's the regular season when Lamar's playing well. Then, just like I told you guys what they're going to do, even though he played extremely well, when they lose, we can take our digs now. Yeah, but remember, these same guys that say the regular season doesn't count for him. Nothing, we don't care about the regular season when it comes in, but it will lead every show for every loss that he acquires or accumulates. Even if he plays perfect. Even if he plays flawless. Lamar Jackson could have went 21 of 21 for 300 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, and a touchdown, 3 passes, and they would have still said, but he ain't clutch. Josh Allen's more clutch. See what I'm saying? Eye of Horus, did you see that shot that Lamar took? Everybody watching, I want you to remember, did you guys see the shot that Lamar took from Ed Oliver that had him cramping or at least knocked the air out of him, knocked the wind out of him? Did y'all see that play? The reason why I want y'all, because I want you to understand where I'm coming from. And I've always said where I'm coming from, but I really want people to really dig deep on why I say and do what I say and do. You understand where I'm coming from? Lamar is not protected by the referees. Defenders understand and know that they can hit him any way that they see fit. So the only people that can protect Lamar Jackson would be who? His offensive line. The only people that can protect him. The only people that can protect him is his offensive line. That is it. Those are the only people that can protect him. That's why we have to be hard on the offensive line, because we all know that the defenders can tee off on him any time in any which way that they want. That means that the offensive line has to be even better, because they're the only line of defense for Lamar outside of his God-given running ability and playmaking ability. Nobody ran up and said, yo, what? You didn't see this hit? Did you see John Harbaugh screaming at the ref, saying, you see this hit? They're like, no, John Harbaugh's on the side talking about some woos, everything will be all right. My defense will come back and win the game. Nobody checked at Oliver. Nobody ran at the ref and said, yo, I know you see what they're doing to our quarterback. Nobody. Nightmare Killer with a $5 donation. Yes! Do you think the pressure for Harbs is a good thing? Yes. Yes. Because here's the thing with pressure. Pressure can either bust pipes or it can force diamonds. Diamonds are not made through a nice process. Diamonds are made through an excruciating pressure explosion of atoms being forced together, hydrogen and all that stuff like that, forced together to form. Do you know how pearls are made? Pearls are considered some of the most beautiful things in the world, right? Pearls are made when salt get into the clam, right? Into the folds, like dirt, stuff like that. It's very uncomfortable for them. So they sit there and they're rubbing it until it forms a pearl, because a pearl is what? Smooth. So it no longer causes irritation for them. Sometimes being uncomfortable is when the best things happen. Sometimes you got to be uncomfortable for changes to come. Shout out to you again, Nightmare Killer, for the $5 donation. Best nation donation. Sometimes you got to be in a place where you're no longer comfortable for you to make a change. Tim Rounds with a $2 donation. Yes! Said the refs only protect Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. Hold on, Tim Rounds, I'm going to be real with you. Burrow takes shots. Statistically speaking, Burrow takes a lot of shots. I brought this up before. One of the reasons why I even respect Burrow is because he takes shots. But Mahomes and Allen, remember I don't know if you watched it. I did an episode where I read off the unnecessary roughness, on the court, all that stuff like that. I read up the deficiencies on the Chiefs, the Bills, and Allen and Mahomes is high ahead of everybody else. Herbert's up there too. But shout out to you, Tim Brown. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. Best nation donation. But I want you to understand, just like DeWitt said, polished. Like, we have to get to a point of this team that you don't lose in the first game. You learned from the first game. It reminds you of your deficiencies. It reminds you of your weaknesses. It reminds you that you're not a super team because you were drinking your own Kool-Aid. See, you were thinking during the training camp that, oh, yeah, we got Alexander. We so good. Everybody loves us. And then we're going to play perfect. Oh, we about to score 40 points on them. We're unstoppable. Unstoppable. That's what they were feeling. First game showed you, reminds you. Because even though you lost in that, playoffs was way ago. The beginning of the year. February seems like a decade ago. Long time ago. This is fresh in your mind to remind you, to tell you, to show you, you are not unbeatable. That you got to play 4 quarters of football. That no lead cannot be beat. No lead is insurmountable. You still have weaknesses. You're not untouchable. You're not unbreakable. I used to hear somebody just tell me that said, when you're growing boys, pain is part of the lesson, right? My grandfather used to tell me, or not tell me, but he used to say that. And I used to hear my uncles and fathers and stuff like that talk about it and said, when you're growing a boy, pain is part of the lesson. Pain. And I started wondering, they started explaining it. They were talking about it to other people. You know, guys should not just talk. Like, you remember, you'll see some of the kids fall down and people will sit there and try to get them up on a bike, right? And be like, oh, it's okay. No. You'll put them, no, make them fall. Why do you make them fall? Because that pain of falling gives them even more incentive to stay upright on the bike. When we were younger, you know, I used to learn how to swim. Come here, son. Hey, boy, go on there. And they throw you in the deep end. And everything, and you're fighting, clawing. All of your natural instincts, all of your natural tendencies right now are kicking in overdrive because you're trying to stay afloat. You're fighting to stay afloat. And they're talking to you. Use those hands. Cup your hands. Kick your feet. Kick your feet. Keep on moving. Keep on. Don't go. Come on now. That's what you're doing. Because you know what it did? It forced you. It forced you into survival mode. And the survival mode forced you to learn how to swim. Because what is this world made of? Either what? You either sink or you swim. Those are the lessons that we learn from being children. That's what this loss has to be. That's what they have to look at it as. They have to look at it and say, yo, hey, yo, all right, sink or swim, baby. Give me the rocks on my back. I got it. What mountain can I not climb? What road can I not traverse? This is what we need to do. Listen, let me listen right now. When we get to the point to where we're mentally so weak that we think that the season is lost in week 1, then we've already lost the season. You didn't lose. You got to learn. It reminds you, it's the perfect team to remind you, the Bills, that you're going to have to beat the Bills and you're going to have to beat the Chiefs to get to where you want to go. If you want to swim, that's how you do it. You got to cup your hands. You got to kick your feet. You got to take those breaths. You have to keep calm. Even when your adrenaline is pumping, you have to still be able to think under those extreme mitigating circumstances. See, that's the difference. And if we can get to there, now we're where we need to be. The problem is that so much times the comfortability, right? We don't look for change. That's what Harbaugh is going through right now. He's had so much. You ever see somebody that is so comfortable? Life has just done them no wrong. Every day is a sunshine day. They don't know what rain feels like. They don't know what sweat feels like. That's what the problem is going on with Harbaugh. He had forgot. He's moved so far past I gotta grind for this that it's almost like a different language. It's like you're listening to, you never watch some Asian movies and you actually hear what they're actually saying. They're like, oh my God, what does that even sound like? That's what it sounds like to him. This is a wake-up call, not for all the Ravens players alone. This is a wake-up call for John Harbaugh. That's why he looked like that in that press conference. He didn't even sound like John Harbaugh in the press conference. He was throwing players under the bus. Why? Because he's finally uncomfortable. Now the question becomes, does your uncomfortability lead to self-sabotage? Or does it lead to self-reflection? Does it lead to you understanding that a ship is only as good as its leader, its commander? Am I lying? Tell me if I'm lying. I'm sorry I haven't looked at the chat, guys. I'm sorry. I got into a train of thought, and I just kept my bad, guys. I am so sorry. You know I use the chat, man, but I just, like, I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Harbaugh has to get to a mindset to where it's the Ravens and only the Ravens. Y'all remember the second Rocky movie? Second one? Or the third one? I believe maybe it's the third one. When Apollo Creed is trying to teach Rocky, right? And Rocky is taking shots to the face. He's like, he's coming. He's going, hitting him. And he goes, dang it, Rock! What's the matter with you? And Rocky is sitting there like, tomorrow, man. Come on, man. His woman's there and everything. And everybody knows, as a man, to the women that are in here, the worst thing you can do to a man is challenge him when his woman's in front of him. That hurts more than anything. His woman is there for the entire thing. And he's screaming at him, saying, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. You know what the next scene was? It was Rocky having to address the man in the mirror. Not his wife, not his coaches. He had to sit there and look at the man in the mirror. He had to address himself first. That scene is magical. Because pain's going to come, failure's going to come, falling's going to come, losses are going to come, pause, but you still have to figure out a way to stay afloat. And a lot of times it starts with self-reflection. You saw Rocky when he looked in that mirror? No one else in there, just him. And he looked at that mirror. And the only thing that was looking back at him was his own reflection. The only thing that he could hear was his own words. The only thing that's playing in his mind over and over and over again is Apollo Creed. There is no tomorrow. There is no it's okay. There is no we can take a shortcut. You either get it out the mud or you don't go outside at all. That mentality, that fortitude, that strength of character is where John Harbaugh has to shine. Because you're not going to do with X and the O's. See, he's not going to do with the X and the O's. So in that department, he has to shine. Because what other departments is he going to shine in? If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Let me go back through the chart, through the chat. My bad, guys. My bad. I'm sorry. Let me go back and read some of these comments. My bad, guys. I'm sorry, my guys and ladies. I am so sorry. I went off in a tangent. My bad, Nitro. We need a new swim coach. Chris at oh my God. Y'all talking about crazies in the chat too. DeWitt said you got to think, yeah. Pitcher lines were, that's how I knew to bet on Ja last year for MVP when I didn't see the national media gloss over that spanking. Oh, yeah. My bad, Jared Todd, for skipping over those comments, bro. My bad, bro. Nitro Multimedia now is saying that they were right last year on the MVP and now calling Josh Allen the best QB in the league, including Chris Candy on First Take. Let them say whatever they want. He has a whole season to play. We will see. And then we'll see in the playoffs. Because here's the thing. They'll say whatever they can, but if Lamar beats him in the playoffs and goes to a Super Bowl, a lot of people are going to try to pivot. Alex Johnson said, preach Nitro. I don't be trying to preach either, man. I don't be trying to, Ash. I really don't. This man, I wish I worked with people like Harbs. Yo, my gosh. I'm tired of seeing Falele and John Harbaugh. He made the 17 double-digit leagues that end in a loss. That's the most in the league since 1991. Guy is trash. I get what you're saying, bro. You're not lying. Like, all of us are tired of it. All of us are tired of it. Give me self-sabotage for 400 Zelly tonight. Jesus, bro. Eric Clark said the sermon we needed. Man, I'm just trying to speak the facts, bro. I'm just trying. I'm trying. Robbie Pace said amen. Amen to you too, brother. Nah, keep cooking Nitro. Bro, listen, it's facts. Some people believe that I'm just trying to speak as much truth as I can. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, good speech. I want Harbs gone. And then I Awards comes back and says Harbs crashing out low key. Yeah, he's crashing out. But yeah, I see it, Jared Todd. I see it. Press conference today. Let's see. We'll see what it says. But even Jadeveon Clowney now is gone. They waited too long. He's not even available. I'm looking past Harbs and staring at the owner. Steve, get your boy far away from my team. See a lot of people feeling that way. I really do. I really, 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 really do. I really do. Juju Bean with a $20 donation. I feel like this loss is a blessing in disguise. If these guys want to win a ball, they need to change their mindset. Ray said it best. Stop relying on talent. Rely on purpose. I don't know how they show they faith for the 30th on Sunday. They better not lose. Juju Bean, thank you so much for that $20 donation. Best nation donation. And you're very right. They better not lose. See, because one thing that Ray said that I will agree with him on at least this, is he said, stop relying on talent. See, that was part of what I was trying to say. They've always, we got all these new players. We're untouchable. We're unbreakable. We're unstoppable. We're titanium. I'm bulletproof. Nothing to lose. Fire away. Fire away. Ricochet. I'll take you there. Fire away. Fire away. That's how they feel. I am titanium. That's how they feel. That's how they were walking around like. And they were reminded that even with enough shots, titanium could get pierced. Shout out to you, Juju Bean. Best nation donation, man. Thank you so much for the $20 donation, man. Thank you. Lamar once shredded the Bills behind the trash O-line and defense, taking plays off. Once again, he was asked to do everything in the loss. It's his fault. Shaking my head. Yami, it's very true. That's how they look at it. But now, for once, Harbaugh is hearing from it. That's why he's attacking the way he's attacking, because now he's uncomfortable. Facts. We'll see him in the playoffs. See him in the playoff ISO. Hard really to be throwing people under the bus, even when he was supposed to take accountability. He found a way to passively put it on somebody else. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I'll be doing, Jared Thomas. Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to be doing a video on the Doug Gottlieb one today on the Wunderkind Show. I'm going to touch on a couple things today. So, yeah, definitely I'll be doing a video. Definitely. Don't worry, and I heard some people even say I need to clip this. I'll try to clip it. We'll see. I'm gonna clip it, but because I don't even remember. I was just speaking honestly. But this team has to get to a point to where they're no longer saying we're the most talented. There is nothing more hurtful, nothing more disgraceful, nothing more disheartening when you're the more talented team or the talented person, and the less talented team and less talented person is absolutely taking you out to the back of the woodshed. There's nothing more heartbreaking than that. You ever see, and I give a perfect example, you ever been around those guys? You be seeing walking around 6'9", 6'10", and you're looking at them like, oh, you in the NBA? He's like, nah, I work for T-Mobile. And you're like, you're 6'10". You didn't even try to go for the NBA. Are you out of your mind? All the talent. None of the drive. None of the work ethic. None of the focus. None of the sacrifice. See, because that's what you have to do, right? How many of you guys have been around guys that are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11"? Mind you, I played basketball. That was my sport, not football. Football is my younger brother's sport. And you be looking at them and be like, bro, if I was 6'10", I'd be in the league. Right? Tell me I'm lying. That's what the Ravens are. The most talented team losing to a lot of inferior teams because they're just relying on talent to win instead of saying, yo, we got to put in even more time than those guys that we're going against. That was the one thing you saw with the swimmer that came out. You know I'm talking about, one of the swimmer guys. You know what I'm saying? I forgot. You know what I'm talking about. He won all the Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps said it when he went down to the Ravens. He told them, he said, I had all the talent in the world, but I did not want my legacy to end how this summer ended. So I said, I'm going back to the drawing board. I'm going back to the workshop. And he said, it's time for me to fine-tune these deficiencies, fine-tune these muscles, fine-tune this mind. That's what he said. And he did it into the tune of the most gold medals in Olympic history. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's what you got to be able to do. That's what you have to be able to achieve. They end up being leeches. Guys, it hurts less if you watch at home. They don't deserve our money. No more tickets being bought. Nah. You still got to go there and cheer them on to try to get them mentally psyched for the game. But, like, it's one of those things where you look at somebody, it's like, you got to get out of your own way. You just can't be like, we got 8. We'll be all right. That ship has sailed. He's done enough. Time for y'all to carry y'all weight. Real talk. No tell Jordan was 6'8" singing because he couldn't play ball. Neither Shaquille Burton, another Eagles fan, said that Lamar Jackson once again is getting let off the hook for choking. You see what I'm saying? But you already know what that guy wants. That guy wants Lamar to respond. That's all. Because he already got the taste of his second of popularity, and he's high off he's chasing that high all over again. And Lamar will never give it to him again. Pause. So now he's going to keep trying to take digs and shots because, once again, he's chasing it. But he'll never get it again. It's actually a sad existence. See, my thing is, I come with true content. Real content. Content that can make you think. Content that will make you laugh. Content that will make it look like, hey, we grew up right around the block from each other. That's my formula. He needs to find a better one for himself. If we win a title, he'll sign the extension. If we don't, I'm 6'5" in reverse. Let me go try out for the team. Chris, if you were 6'5" and you ain't trying for the WNBA, you wildin'. Wildin'. Tila said Shaquille Burton is annoying. I blocked him on TikTok. Yeah. Because once again, he went viral for what he said against Lamar. He went truly viral. He went viral on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Those three, not on YouTube, from what I understand, but those other three, he went well over 1 million views on each platform. So now he's chasing that. And he'll never get it again. It won't even come close. Because now he just sounds like everybody else that talks about Lamar Jackson. Because remember, Lamar responded to him. And Lamar's not going to give him time ever again. I play. Listen, I know from my girth, pause, that a lot of people think I was a guard. I told you, I'm going to show y'all some of my old pictures. Y'all going to be like, yeah. Before the knee injury, before blowing out my Achilles and everything else, yeah, I was a heck of a ball player. Heck of a ball player. I already told you, listen, man, I'm going to lose the weight and try to become a weapon. Try to become a weapon. But guys, that's another episode of the Wunderkind Morning Show. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Hope you guys liked it. Yeah, now we end every show. We end in a little bit of trivia or throwbacks. Now, this one's not too much of a crazy throwback. This is well into the 2000s and 10s. But this movie is a good movie. Very, very good movie. It had beautiful cinematography, very creative worldscape or land building. You know what I'm saying? But they were calling it like it was the greatest movie of all time. And even though it's a great/good movie, it's nowhere near the greatest movie of all time. It might have did a lot of numbers, but it's not. Do you guys know which movie I am referring to? Butter can't shoot like me, I'm telling you that right now. My knee is kind of gone right now, but I gotta go for surgery. But once that surgery's over, I told y'all, I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna be out there on the courts and everything, and y'all gonna be like, damn, I didn't know Nitro was like that. I'm 5'10", without the fro. No, it wasn't Independence Day, because none of those were considered to being one of the, if not the greatest movie of all time. I'll ask again. The movie was considered to be a top 3 movie of all time. Even though to me it was a good or great movie, it's nowhere near that movie range. Even though it has the numbers to back up being the greatest movie of all time, it's not the greatest movie of all time. And it's one of the biggest movies of all time. One of the biggest movie franchises of all time. What movie am I talking about? Now y'all got it again. Shawshank was great. That is one of the greatest movies of all time. Shawshank Redemption was amazing. Somebody got it right. I'm reading the chat. Somebody got it. I be saying you got it right. Yes. Avatar. Listen, guys. This movie, very magical movie, beautiful world building. I mean, some of the shots were absolute. I mean, just totally like immerses you into the cinematic experience. But let me make sure they understand. This is not on the level of Dark Knight. This is not on the level of Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile. Like, this movie is a great movie. But when you start talking about the greatest movies of all time, no. This movie, all this movie is Pocahontas in space. That's all it is. It's Pocahontas in space. That's all it is. Go back and watch the movie Pocahontas, then go watch Avatar, and you're like, holy crap. Avatar is Pocahontas in space. The Dark Knight is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's the greatest superhero movie of all time, but The Dark Knight is one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, straight up, how y'all let me get behind him and making deliveries? My bad, man. Avatar was a great movie. But The Dark Knight was a masterpiece. Avatar, you can argue, is a masterpiece too, but there's levels to masterpieces. Shawshank Redemption is a better movie than Avatar. The Green Mile is a better movie than Avatar. The Dark Knight is a better movie than Avatar. Some people would say The Godfather is better than Avatar. Beautiful movie. I'm not saying it wasn't a great movie. Do not mistake what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is they tried to make it seem because it sold and did so on the box office that this movie is one of the greatest top 3 or number 1 movies of all time. No. Because even Titanic is the second highest grossing movie of all time, or maybe third now. Third after Avatar and maybe Avengers Endgame. And even though Titanic was a great movie, no one ever thought it was one of the greatest movies of all time. They thought it was a great movie. They thought it was one of the best movies. If you're throwing like if you're doing the top 200 movies of all time, it's on that list. But when you start getting close to that top 10, it's nowhere near that. Real talk. Real talk. I'm just saying. Heath Ledger is what took Dark Knight over the edge. Because you can actually make the argument that as good as Christian Bale was, as good as what's-his-name playing Commissioner Gordon was, as good as what's-his-name playing Two-Face was, he elevated all of them just for his perfect, emulation of insanity. Chaos personified. Just saying. But guys, that's an episode of the Wonder Kid Morning Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys, and leave a comment in all of the comments. If you want to donate and everything else, the Cash App is right there, or Super Chats. If you want to be pleased, if you don't, become a member. Like I said, I'm working on a interview that we'll know about in the next about week, 2 weeks. And that will be for the member. They will get the first shot at being it for the live. It will then be re-released out to the public. If you want to be a part of all that stuff, become a member. Okay, guys? But once again, that's another episode of the Wonder Kid Morning Show. This show is not just signing off. And as always, guys, you know my slogan. Peace. And guys, I'm out of here. Yerp.
Finish him, Daddy. You're not my dad.